Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Oluwatobi Omobonike Adeboyeku, also known as TobiBonike. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for checking in. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you still for tuning in. Last week, I made a video on the topic unhealthy comparison among humans. The link is in the description box below. So I'll suggest you watch that video if you haven't watched it so that I can follow this topic logically. Yeah, thank you. So today I'm concluding on that topic, and I'm speaking briefly on 3 major damaging effects this unhealthy comparison can have on any human being. The first damaging effect it could have on anyone is low self-esteem. When comparison to another person has been in excess, low self-esteem sets in. Even some people don't have to compare themselves to another person before they start having low self-esteem. So how much more when they now start comparing themselves to other people? And that comparison is unhealthy. So it leads to low self-esteem. When low self-esteem creeps in, then the person just permanently feels unhappy. Like they don't feel they are good at anything. They don't feel anything good can ever come out of them. And it also reflects in the way they relate with other people. So some of them carry this aura, around them, like they don't feel good about themselves. They just transfer it to other people unconsciously, which is not good at all. So that is one major damaging effect, low self-esteem. The second negative effect it could have on any human being is envy. In fact, that is more dangerous. Envy. When envy sets in, it can lead to so many things. It could lead to sabotage of the person being envied. So supposing somebody is doing well now, they see somebody like maybe their colleague at work, their sibling, neighbor, envy sets in, and then some people might plot to sabotage that person. They will just frustrate the person's efforts. They do so many things, they can plan for the person, plan evil for the person, and it could lead to so many other things. In some extreme cases, it even leads to murder. That is how bad envy could eat deep into some people who have had unhealthy comparison buried in their system. So it creeps in gradually from the little seed of jealousy, it moves to envy, then they just carry it through to the end. And it's always unfortunate. The third damaging effect it could have on anybody is suicide. In fact, before I say suicide, depression. It's a gradual process. People that commit suicide did not just commit it, they didn't just die that day. They've been dying gradually. And it starts from depression. So some people don't know how to open up. They can't talk to anybody about it, that they are depressed because of one reason or the other. Or they don't feel too good about themselves. These people have achieved this. Oh, they are doing well. I'm not good at anything. I'm feeling like a failure. Can you help? Well, you may not always have to talk to everybody, but these people have to be selective. If it's to seek help, do so. It might not be an easy thing to do, but a lot of people are depressed because of this thing, and they mask it with this hard front, like hard guy, hard babe, hard girl now, hard babe, I don't feel anything, but they are dying inside. Depression is killing them inside, but they will not admit to it, and it stems from this unhealthy comparison. At times it's part of it, and maybe other factors too. So when depression is not treated properly, they are not helped, then some of them get to the point of suicide. So that person you see jumping into the lagoon, or you see taking sniper or one poisonous substance or the other, he or she did not just make that decision that day. It has started from depression. And what led to the depression? One of the factors is what I've been talking about, unhealthy comparison. So that is one damaging effect it could have on the person concerned. And it's so sad these days that suicide is not even just common among adults. I see a lot on the internet, in the news. You see 10-year-old boy, 10-year-old girl, a teenager at times committing suicide. And then they'll leave a note. Oh, somebody compared me to this person in the class. There was one I saw on Facebook, I think 2 years ago. A 14-year-old girl was bullied in the class. I think her teacher said she was black or something. And then the other classmates too started bullying her. So some people, bullying is even what leads them to it. Some, because they are being compared, in a way that they shouldn't be. I made mention of this in my last video. Comparison at times, not everybody can take it. So some people have not developed that thick skin to just, wave it off and, oh, whatever. Just, well, no, what I just not saying, it won't affect me. Some people take it in, they take it seriously. And then when that kind of person commits suicide, you'll be looking like, just on top of what did they say now that warrants this? But not everybody is strong enough to handle it. So that girl's story really made me sad. I think it happened in one of these African countries. I can't remember now. But it was disheartening. And it's happening in other places like that. That was just one of the ones we were able to see on the social media. So suicide is not just even among the older ones. Depression, some children are depressed, some teenagers are depressed, some young adults are depressed, and they can't talk to anybody about it. Then one day you just see, oh, sad, this person killed himself, this person killed herself. Meanwhile, they've been dying gradually. So, you see, the words of the mouth at times, in fact, not at times, our words are life. They have the capacity to just, if you speak good to someone, you have no idea what it can do to that person. And by the time you also compare to, and you start telling that child, you start telling that person, that adult, like, look at you, you are this, you are that, you are not up to this, you are just below standard, you are, it could also have damaging effects on the person. So let us try as much as possible in our dealings with human beings, with ourselves. We are all human beings. In our dealings with ourselves, it might not, sometimes that thing might creep in, unconsciously or indeliberately, but we should make conscious efforts to always appreciate one another. So I've come to the end of this video. I've told you I'm going to make it as brief as possible. I hope I did that anyway. So to have a recap of it, I said I talked about 3 major damaging effects out of other damaging effects that could be out there, but I focused more on 3. I said the first is low self-esteem. It leads, some people have had their low self-esteem before, but unhealthy comparison can aggravate it. I talked about envy, which can lead to sabotage of the person and murder, and all sorts of other vices. And last but not least, I talked of depression and suicide. So you can see how damaging this thing could be to people. So thank you for watching. This video also has a podcast, like the first episode I had. That one also had a podcast in the description link. So if you're interested in the podcast of this video, the link is also in the description box below. I'll be leaving the link there. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have enjoyed this series. It was just 2 episodes anyways, but I'm glad I put out something there. So next week I'll be talking entirely on another topic. I'm through with this unhealthy comparison among humans. Thank you so much. Have a good time. Bye.